Hi, I'm Mackenzie, and today we will be doing about a 20-minute guided meditation that can help us become more alive to the sensitive feeling of flow in our fingers. So to begin, just landing where we are, sitting comfortably, whether that's in a chair or even lying down if sitting up is not available to you. And perhaps flipping the hands so that the fingers are available to wiggle and move. And you're welcome to keep your eyes open if you'd like, with a soft gaze. But sometimes it can be helpful to feel more our internal landscape by closing our eyes to the visual landscape around us. And we'll begin first by becoming more sensitive to the feeling in our fingers through touch. So very slowly, bringing the thumb and the pointer finger closer to each other until they're gently rubbing. And allowing ourselves to see if we can feel the tiny fingerprints, the little finger ridges on our fingers as we gently rub them back and forth. Or if we're feeling those little ridges of our fingerprints, or feeling our fingertips quite sensitively. And this is a wonderful feedback and simple exercise from positive intelligence. But let's not neglect the other fingers. So now gently bringing our thumb and our middle finger together. And now sensitively feeling the middle finger, maybe the contour of the middle finger and the fingerprint, the tiny ridges there. And now moving on to the ring finger. The thumb and the ring finger can come together. And just seeing how sensitively we can feel those fingertip ridges, as well as the contour of the middle finger, which may be different than the other fingers. And now for our littlest finger, the pinky and thumb. And perhaps playing with that sense of the thumb, feeling the contour of the pinky, and also the pinky feeling the thumb and the ridges on the thumb. Nice, and just now rest the hand Just notice the sense that we can feel at our fingertips. They are not touching each other anymore, but they are still touching something. Perhaps that sense of them touching the air just beyond each fingertip. Now we'll begin to play with a feeling of internal touch. So we were bringing two fingers together to help us feel our fingers more and feel them more finely. And all this will lead to this finer and freer sense of flow. We can also do a micro movement that will help us to feel the internal touch, the internal sense of our fingers. And so this will be micro movements that if someone was watching us, they might not even see that our fingers are moving, but it's just enough movement where it becomes easier to feel our fingers on the inside. So let's first just go finger by finger and see what we can feel on the inside through these micro movements. So starting with the thumbs, it's a sense of very slightly lengthening the thumb through the joints. And just see if that helps us to feel sensations inside our thumb. And now elongating and lengthening ever so slightly the pointer finger all the way to the tip of the finger. If you'd like, can also just do that micro movement, not just once, but a couple of times if it's helpful to wake up that feeling of internal touch, inner micro flow actually of our fingers. And now let's do that for our middle finger. Seeing if the joints become a little easier to notice and feel that internal rub of the joints as we elongate the finger. And now gently elongating the ring finger on both hands. A sense of lengthening it to the fingertip. And bringing as much sense of interest and sensitivity as we can to our littlest finger, the pinky finger, as it elongates ever so slightly. And then can just let all the fingers rest. And just noticing the fingers that were there all along, but maybe coming more into focus as we allow ourselves to feel these more subtle sensations through external and internal touch of these microflows making up our fingers. And now just allowing ourselves to feel the rhythm, the in and out of the breath. Because we can also use the breath to help us feel these finer sense of free flow making up our fingers. And for the next couple of out breaths, just allowing a gentle emphasis on the out breath. Just noticing the out breath. And now we're going to link this sense of the out breath with that micro elongating and feeling of the fingers. And this is what we can call the 5-finger breath. And so on the next out breath, feeling that out breath as we elongate our thumbs ever so slightly to the fingertip. Breathing in and breathing out and elongating our pointer finger to the fingertip. Breathing in and out, elongating and feeling the middle finger. In, out, a micro movement elongating the ring finger. In and out for the pinky finger. And now that we have gone through the pattern once, let's go through it again where you feel that sense of the rhythm and the feel at your own pace rather than needing to follow my pacing. So beginning with the thumb, micro movement, and feeling that thumb to its tip. Linking the free flow of the breath to this fine micro flow in our fingers. And once we've completed the 5-finger breath, just seeing how the fingers feel. Sometimes they can become very alive and present with this feeling of being our fingers, where we feel them very refinedly all the way to the fingertips. It's so simple. In a way, it really is simple. And yet it can be quite an interesting experience to really feel our fingers. Just as they are. Just as these fine, free flows of nature. And we can play with this just here, now that we are maybe beginning to feel a little more sensitivity and free flow in our fingers. Welcome to close your eyes if they were not already closed. And let's just do a little exercise of exploring the awareness of our fingertips. And so can very slowly bring the hands together without touching and just be very attuned to where our fingertips end and the air just beyond them begins. And we'll see if we can align our fingers, our thumb with our thumb, our pinky and our pinky, where our fingers are as close as they can be without touching. And so, of course, for this we need to have that sensitive awareness of where our fingertips end, coming from that internal sense, that internal awareness that we have, that we naturally have. It allows us to thread a needle or type on a keyboard. We know where our fingertips are. We're just allowing ourselves to actually open more to that feeling of internal awareness. And then if you'd like, can open your eyes and see if they could have come closer. I had a ways to go. And just see if that exercise further helped us to appreciate and feel how much feeling we can have coming from our fingers. And now we'll put this to use. Again, you're welcome to close your eyes again if you would like, and we're going to take our sensitive fingers like they're sensors, and we're going to put one hand a little bit below the belly button and the other hand, the other fingers a bit above, and aligning the fingers so that at least our fingers other than our thumb are almost in a line along our midline. And just allowing ourselves to feel the wave of the breath. By witnessing the movement of our fingers, our sensitive fingers. It's almost like our fingers are playing like an instrument, like the clarinet, but they're actually just feeling the fine free flows of our belly as it breathes. Perhaps noticing if some of the fingers rise up with the breath first, or go down the wave of the breath in a certain pattern. And just noticing how we are taking the sensitivity of our fingers that we've developed, and now we're able to see how we could extend that sensitivity of fine free flow to other parts and other movements of our body. And our breath is not just all out and all in, but there's this wave of finer free flows in the movement if we're more attuned to it. And we can pick up with more of this fun next time. As we end here today, just can open your eyes if you would like at your own pace. And just call to mind that 5-finger breath and how it doesn't take too long. And so maybe seeing if this is something you would like to intersperse at some moments if you're just waiting in line or waiting for a meeting to start. You can see if this is something you'd like to play with in your daily life, because we're talking about the free flow of our fingers or breathing. But if we feel that quality of freedom, we feel that sense of flow, then that can be something that gives us such comfort and can move us away from stress in our daily living. So thanks for practicing with me, and hope to see you next time.